Our top story right now, trouble brews for Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, and it is now being reported that the leader plans to make changes to his cabinet and his party executive following media reports that lawmakers received undeclared political funds. And this comes as the ruling Liberal Democratic Party faces mounting scrutiny on the fundraising scandal. Japanese media reports that Kishida has already decided to sack the chief cabinet secretary over his alleged failure to report more than $70,000 received as part of fundraising efforts for the party faction. Now, Industry Minister and the LDP's policy chief are also set to be replaced as they are among those suspected of having failed to declare political funds properly. Now, these three are among 15 officials to be sacked, which belong to the LDP's biggest Abe faction. LDP factions have traditionally set their lawmakers' quotas for party tickets, usually priced at 20,000 yen, which is around $137. Now, if they surpass their targets, the extra funds are returned to them as a type of commission. In the LDP's biggest faction, which Japan's former President Shinzo Abe headed until his assassination in July 2022, the extra funds had neither been reported as expenditure nor as payments to lawmakers, with critics saying that it was a form of tax evasion. Now, Japanese media say that they may have pocketed a total of more than $700,000 in fundraising proceeds that were left off the books. Tokyo prosecutors are looking to investigate lawmakers after the current session of parliament ends on Wednesday. The scandal threatens to further dent Kishida's sinking popularity. Kishida said that he would take steps to restore trust in his government amid the scandal, and just a few days ago he stepped down as head of his own party faction while serving as Prime Minister. Kishida's cabinet approval ratings had gone below 30% even before the fundraising scandal, reflecting voter worries over rising living costs and looming tax hikes. And now, to get you more on the scandal that continues to mount pressure over Japan's Prime Minister, we are being joined by Professor James T.J. Brown, international affairs expert, and he joins us live from Tokyo. Welcome to the broadcast, Professor Brown.
Thank you very much.
Now, I'll begin with my first question. Now, since the news of the scandal broke, details have emerged that revealed more than just misreporting. Would you agree that the scandal is rocking the LDP to its core?
Well, it's certainly a problem for sections of the LDP. It's a problem for the faction previously headed by former Prime Minister Abe. It's also a major problem for Prime Minister Kishida, especially in the context of his sinking popularity. Now, unfortunately, money scandals are nothing new to Japan. Prime Minister Abe had some of them himself, but he was able to shrug them off because he was otherwise quite a popular prime minister. The problem for Kishida is that this comes at a time when he's already really quite unpopular and sinking towards the real danger zone of around 30% popularity or less.
And, amid the mounting scrutiny on the fundraising scandal, Prime Minister Kishida has decided to sack the chief cabinet secretary. I want you to tell us on what, in your opinion, what do you think happens next?
Well, what's going to happen next, I think, is going to be an interesting struggle between Prime Minister Kishida and other powerful members of the LDP. Now, in particular, he's made it clear that he wants to sack the Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry, who's from that faction formerly headed by Abe, that's Minister Nishimura. But he has pushed back and has suggested that he's not going to resign and he wants to stay in power. So it's going to be a test of Kishida's power within his own party. Can he actually sack the ministers that he wants to? Now, in theory, of course he can. But as a weak prime minister, others within the party might push back against that, and he might be forced in certain circumstances to back down.
And Professor Brown, you mentioned that the scandal threatens to dent Kishida's popularity that is already on a downward trend. Now, even though Kishida said that he would take steps to restore trust in his government amid this scandal, Do you think that the trust will be restored anytime soon, or if I have to be straightforward, is Kishida being a little too hopeful?
Yeah, I think too hopeful is the right way of framing it, that his popularity has been sinking for some time. And if you look at the causes of it, the polling data is quite helpful in that regard. It indicates that a leading factor is concern about the economy and especially about inflation, something which Japan's not really been used to in recent times. Now, that's not going to change anytime soon. So given the fact that Kishida's government won't really be able to address that, it seems unlikely he would be able to reverse that falling popularity. And with this scandal being added to that, you will have others within the LDP who will be circling and will be eyeing the opportunity to push Kishida aside and to line up that top job for themselves.
Rising living costs, looming tax hikes, and now the fundraising scandal. Kishida's cabinet rating definitely does not look good. It's already been declining, and the stakes are too high for the Japanese Prime Minister's administration as the ghost of corruption haunts it. And this latest scandal not only affects his administration, but the LDP's political fortunes writ large. Thank you so much, Professor Brown, for joining us and giving us your time.
Thank you.